we're back with what should be the final nail in Darian Crescen's coffin.
How clueless are you? Everyone on the market's dangerous. The second they found out I was a cop, I would kiss my... What?
Keister goodbye.
Keister goodbye.
Why sell why sell to a black market buyer? How about someone like this?
That article! That's about the Chief Justices.
A deadly poison can be extracted from the cocoon, but so can a cure! And not a cure just for any disease. A cure for incuritis.
Incuritis? I've heard of that somewhere.
You went to the victim of the disease this morning.
Aha! Why, that's the disease the Chief Justice's son has. You aren't saying.
Our witness is a detective. He would have contact with the Chief Justice.
You're saying the Chief Justice would never deal in contraband?
Not even to save his own son's life?
But if the deal went through, why, it'd be an international scandal.
That's Detective Crescen's insurance. If word ever got out, the one on the what would be the Chief Justice.
Detective Crescent, is this true?
First I'm a murderer, now I'm a smuggler. How many crimes are you trying to pin on me anyway?
Distasteful as it is to think about the Chief Justice, we're the buyer. Why, a seller couldn't hope for a better deal. A very cowardly seller.
Don't let sleeves over there trick you. So I made a deal with the Chief Justice. Where's your proof?
Oh, fuck!
Oh yeah, you're forgetting the other important thing.
Do tell.
Interpol isn't the ones that are watching this. Virginia Customs barely sleeps. They're so worried about the cocoons getting out.
So we were informed. Let's continue with the cross-examination.
Virginia Customs is very thorough. Everything is, and everyone is checked.
That
cocoon possession will get you arrested on the spot, and then sentenced to death. Hey man, if there was a way I could get the cocoons out there, I'd sure like to know.
it's weird that this wasn't made into its own.
Yeah.
3 new statements. All right. Just how strict is this customs check?
Way strict. They keep planes on the ground for hours.
I do recall being a bit extreme. They were confiscating gumdrops and marshmallows?
Yes, it would be hard to distinguish them.
That's right, Gavin was in Virginia, wasn't he? I remember setting off the metal detectors several times. I had to practically strip naked to walk through. Here's a travel strip for you, Gavin. Leave the bling at home, you glimmerous fop.
Cocoon possession will get you arrested on the spot and then sentenced to death.
Hold it.
That's pretty extreme. Oh no.
Virginia is the rep of an idyllic, laid-back place. Truth is, they're beyond hardcore with security.
The Republic of Virginia is peaceful, pleasant country. So this level of security shows how truly concerned they are about the cocoons.
That's the situation. Hey man, if there's a way to get the cocoons out of there, I'd sure like to know.
Hold it.
You're in a position to know a little bit about smuggling.
Yeah, I need to know a bit for work, sure. But we all get reports on failed smuggling ops. Not exactly something you want to go copy. But if you want, I can tell you a few of them. Maybe you'll succeed and get rich.
I would be interested in hearing, purely from a legal perspective, of course.
I weep for our judicial system. The replica has to be the key to this motive. There's got to be a way to find out what he was up to.
Huh. Alright. Interpol's not bothered. Everyone. Customs is very thorough. everything and everyone gets checked.
What do we know about the guitar? And wasn't there something about the way it got transported?
Yeah, it got shipped on the ground.
It's weird because there's nothing in the guitar's data here, sorry guys, that says specifically about how it was checked in customs. But I remember from our conversation with Gavin something about special about the way it was shipped.
It had to be shipped on ground. It
Yeah.
couldn't be flown.
And then something else though.
Vacuum sealed.
Vacuum sealed, a few things, right? Let's just fucking present this. There we go. It worked. I don't know exactly how, because I don't... It's weird that they didn't... Usually they attach at least a little snippet in the actual evidence that you can remember, because this is requiring you to remember a conversation from, like, if you were playing this straight through, like, 4 hours ago.
It's true.
That's pretty far out.
You did it, though. The crab crash is out. Oh my goodness. Look at the crab crash. Oh. I didn't actually see the face.
I get sometimes feel goatish
I love you.
when I'm proud.
I love you. I love that, man.
Okay. Actually, there is one way.
What?
Did you just suffer brain damage?
What?
One way to get something out of the country, no checks.
You won me over with the goat.
What is it?
A screaming goat? Ah! Isn't that how they sound? Kind of.
Kind of.
You become a prosecutor.
A prosecutor?
Oh yeah, that's the detail. He had it taken out under his prosecutor's special shipment
Oh.
methods. He used like their special he used their special like judicial way of shipping that nobody's allowed to touch because it's evidence.
Right.
So even customs couldn't touch it. I don't believe it. Believe it. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it you told me the other day in your office? It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting a woman like Lampshade.
How did it end up here?
I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made it a present for me.
So this guitar is from Virginia?
That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in air pressure and humidity would ruin the wood. So we vacuum packed it in Lampshade's studio. I use special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. They brought it right to my office for me. Pristine and untouched. Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched? Quite. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets of vacuum packed in Virginia. The pack was untouched till the day of the concert. Are you saying that guitar was... With cocoons this small, it would have been very easy to use your guitar as a mule to smuggle cocoons out of Virginia!
What?
Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin, that guitar had some work done recently, right?
Work?
Good memory, Herr Forehead. Well, you know how guitars have round holes? It's called sound hole. Well, they found something attached to the wood inside the hole. A broken device of some sort. A broken
Device?
Yes, this in fact.
An igniter?
Exactly. Oh, sure.
We'll save. From save point.
Exactly! Consider this, if you will. What if Igniter was the only thing that you had attached inside that guitar? Wasn't the only thing.
You mean?
He means this, of course.
Ah! Oh!
There was a way to get the cocoon out of the country. They could use a picky prosecutor's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that with someone with access, like a member of the band?
You.
Rabble.
Order! So the igniter
Was placed in there for clear reason, it seems.
it was a safety precaution. A precaution?
Ah, Herr Forehead. At last, it all comes together. Every strange thing that happened today. Care to review, Maestro? The gentle sounds of Lampshade's ballad, if you will? First, my keys were stolen. A harmless misdemeanor, which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case. The key was the stolen to retrieve the guitar cocoon for the guitar.
I see.
But things didn't go so well. The smuggler wasn't counting on the guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band could get near that case. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Boo! Boo! Oh, come on! Then the concert began right about this time. A very large problem presented itself to the smuggler. Boo! Hiss! Boo!
What's that?
Mr. Latouche!
Ah!
Mr. Latouche was an undercover agent, was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He only have to check the shipping records. So Mr. Latouche tried to examine the guitar himself. If the cocoon were confiscated, then the gig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was, you should be going to get rid, as Trucy, of the whole lot. Trucy, what the fuck? Come on!
No, Polly!
Star burst into flames, the cocoon was lost. And then Mr. Latouche died. So wait, sorry, I was so concentrated on signaling. What is he saying happened? That Mr. Latouche put the igniter in the guitar? Or what? What?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What was happening? I totally wasn't paying attention. Gavin and the Foreheads, get your album today. Can I have a drink?
I wasn't paying attention either.
The igniter was put in the guitar with the cocoon as a safety precaution. It was shipped with the igniter as a backup in case they were about to get found out. So he would ignite it, and then all the evidence would be gone.
Thanks, guys.
With lampshades, there was there to witness it. There's your case.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Detective Crescent? I gotta know, you make all that up on the fly?
For a made-up story, it made great deal of sense, Daryan.
the Republic of Virginia. Sorry, man, but I haven't been there.
True, you haven't.
Ha! Let's see you make up a story for that kid. How'd I hide it in there in the first place?
It's not that hard to imagine. You had help, a Virginian accomplice. That's all. That you had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Lampshade heard proves it. It's over. Press the switch now. You made this transmission from backstage, while your co-conspirator was on stage.
But who was it?
This is it. The coup de grace. The coup de grace.
Oh yeah, it's Apollo.
And for once, I know what I'm doing. I know that. I know that saying. I just can't remember it right now. There's only one person who would have helped him.
Let's hear what Mr. Justice have to say then. But be warned.
Uh-oh.
With a great accusation comes great responsibility.
Oh.
Make up your answer on the fly, and as it were, you'll be harshly penalized. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Have you readied your Go ahead.
This is the kid.
Or is it Lampshade?
It's the kid. There's only one person who meets the requirements of the accomplice. And that person is Monkey Toby! Motherfucker!
But Mr. Justice, he's your client!
For murder!
A defense attorney accusing his client? That's a new one.
I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I am. But I am here to defend him in the murder of Mr. Latouche. And I stand by my statement that earlier he's innocent.
Indeed, the defendant is a Virginian. He does meet the basic requirements for the accomplice. But what if he was, in fact, it was Lampshade?
It couldn't have been.
Well, if you seem so sure of yourself.
The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor.
Electronic signals?
Recall that the remote is only have a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless.
Yes, that's true.
Now think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lampshade was in the air vent, right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's take a look at the stage diagram. Well, just keep following me, even though this is fucking convoluted as shit. Check it out. See that?
Well, looking at this, it seems the Lampshade could have done the deed.
No! No! When the shooter made that transmission, the stage was slightly different as shown here. It was the middle of the guitar serenade. This whole thing could have been like a thing that the player had to...
Yeah, totally.
Like they could have said, like, why couldn't Lampshade have done it? And then we could have had to present the video.
Yeah. They're 15 feet in the air.
In other words, the remote would have only worked in Lampshade's position for the air vent. Well, Detective Crescent, what do you say to that?
Your Honor. Yes, Detective?
Can we see the video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time.
Oh, I don't see why not.
Whoa, no.
Magic.
Too bad. So sad, Punk.
Punk!
First you were Sleeves, then Kid, now Punk? You're losing rank fast, Apollo!
She's keeping track of his rank.
What exactly are we supposed to see in this video?
The problem isn't what we see, correct, Aryan?
Right, it's what you hear. We're all musicians after all.
Care to explain for us non-musicians?
Sure thing, Punk. Let me get you yarn straight first. You're saying in order for the weed pianist to set off that igniter. That right?
Yeah?
Well, in order to do that, you'd have to press the switch. Am I right?
Oh, okay.
Well, take another listen. Pay attention to the piano.
Piano? So he was playing while it was supposed to be suppressed.
What seems to be the problem here? The piano just sounded fine. Well, Apollo Justice, you're going to have to prove what the problem is here.
And that's the problem, man. You still don't get it. Yeah, how are we supposed to hit that switch if he's playing?
Whatever, the switch was in the piano and the fucking hammer hit it.
Yeah.
That's like one of the oldest fucking tricks in the book.
You've got Miss Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only one with her hands free was the diva.
Lampshade!
But according to you, she couldn't have an accomplice, could she? Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out if they could even press the switch.
Face. Rebel, rebel, rebel.
The piano plays non-stop! They're so proud of this 3D bit.
It is beautiful.
Now available in the Ace Attorney series. 3D graphics. So real.
He couldn't have pressed that switch!
Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing with the guitar to catch his fire.
Well,
It's okay, we all make mistakes sometimes. Yours is really bad, you stupid little shit.
Apollo, were you wrong?
I can't be wrong! Everything makes perfect sense! How could it all just... strange? Well, what's strange? No, it's just... something's odd about the performance there. Odd?
Mr. Justice, if Maki Tobey didn't press that switch, then he could not be the accomplice you claim he is.
You know, it doesn't matter if Lampshade's the accomplice or not. We're trying to prove Darian's motive.
And the fact that he pulled the trigger.
If I was Apollo here, I'd just be like, okay, sure, fine. Fucking Lampshade did it. You guys can prove that later in her fucking trial. The point is, he had an accomplice, one of these two. But everything points to it. The fact that he's the accomplice.
You got the facts wrong, man.
We said Lampshade can't be the accomplice. Oh, because of the switch being pressed? Then it means that nobody pressed the switch. We proved that she was in the duct, so she couldn't have hit the switch.
Right.
But, yeah, whatever.
Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire, and the pianist didn't press that switch. The only other words to your story are full of holes.
Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on this matter now. Was the defendant Maki Tobey the accomplice? Your answer will affect everything you've said here. Give it some thought.
Oh dear. Apollo, if Maki's not the accomplice, then our whole case is ruined.
I know that! It has to be him! Oh, if he was the only one who could have helped the smuggler, he had to have pressed that switch!
Well, you'd better find a way to prove it.
Arg! What do I do?
Ah, there has to be something that doesn't fit.
Well, oh, we need some sort of help! What happened in Mr. Wright's trials? Oh, I know, Trucy, you gotta grow some bigger tits, quick!
I'll try.
Do it, Trucy!
I
Try
can't
harder!
get into my panties.
Come on, Trucy! Get those fucking tits getting your... Come on! I want to see some mazongas under that cape!
Something's odd.
Something's odd? Wait a second!
What? You thought of something?
What was Gavin just saying now?
Reasons our neighbors don't talk to us.
Strange. Hi, I'd like to report a spontaneous tit growing session. That's gotta be illegal, right? I fucking hate my neighbors. Well, what's strange? As if they're flashing back to this. Yeah. It's not much to go on, but it's all I've got. What exactly did he hear that was odd?
Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this? Can you prove Makito Bay pressed that switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Makito Bay pressed that switch?
I can prove it. Probably.
Which one's the piano?
4. I think.
And where does it happen? Is it in the middle or the end?
It was right between the first and the second, right? Do you want to pull up the screen so they can see
Oh,
it?
sorry guys. Well,
It's basically the same thing, but...
so we're listening to hear him play off key. When does the burning happen? You think it's in here? It doesn't. Nothing sounds off key.
Yeah, it's the first part. It's the same part where the gunshots happen, right? Yeah, go back between the first and the second. No, back further.
Here?
I don't know how far back you can go, but it's like...
You can only choose from 3 here.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's saying it's easier with the voice because probably you hear how it doesn't, like, the key doesn't work
Okay.
very well.
Is it that little part?
Yeah, it feels like maybe that note was off. It's not very clear. Is it that? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, let's...
So press 1?
Well, I have to...
Oh, right.
I can prove it.
Screen!
I don't know if you call this proof per se, but I can prove it was possible. Then, as prosecutor, it falls to me to ask you to show... okay, I'm gonna save.
continue from soup.
It falls to me to ask you to show us this evidence supporting this. Hair forehead? You're sure about this?
Accept it, there's no evidence, man.
Let's see your evidence, Mr. Justice. On what do you base your claim that the defendant pressed the switch?
So it's 4.
1.
What?
Oh,
4 is the piano,
4 is
right?
the piano, yeah.
Hey, why can't I press it? I can't even present this. Do I just present the mixing board?
Oh, yeah, probably, and then we'll have to specify where.
The basis for my claim is music, Your Honor!
Music? What about the music?
Let's listen to the piano part for the time when the press was to be pressed, right before the guitar burst into flame! Oh, so they're gonna just do it for us. Oh, it wasn't in the first part. They're just gonna walk us through it, eh?
Yeah, I guess.
That's what was on the other screen.
I hear a piano being played.
But doesn't it sound kind of simple?
Simple?
I think I know it, but he's suggesting. You think that Maki could have played that part with one hand?
One hand?
He only needed one hand to press the switch. He could have played the piano with the other.
What do you think? You're some kind of piano savant?
Actually, no.
Then what do you know? You can't play part like that with one hand.
Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Hey, Trucy!
Yeah? You got something?
Mr. Wright, your father, he's a pianist. Couldn't he?
Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even if he had 3 hands.
So sorry, so sad for you.
No, not really. That was just the easy way to prove it. There's always the hard way. Motherfucker!
Man, how are you gonna prove whether he played it with one hand or two? You can't.
I admit it would be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely he was playing with one hand.
How do you know that?
The clue is what Prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I bet he could tell by listening to a certain part of the song.
No way.
Well, it seems we've come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing with one hand. Right before the guitar burst into flame.
Maki was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught fire, and one section of the song proves it. Seriously? It's gonna be, really, one hand? Man, come on. So much cooler. I mean, even if I called it cliche earlier, it's still a way better plot line that he played off. It would have been so much easier for the player to like make that cool connection with a really bad off key.
Yeah.
Like he's playing and then he has to hit the key that was set up to ignite in the emergency. And all he did was rig it in there so that it would hit if he had to.
That would have been cool.
Way better than one-handed fucking playing.
Yeah.
So he played his whole concert one-handed in the off chance that some shit would go down in the dressing room at
only
that exact
one
moment.
point.
So he switched from full-handed to one-hand?
Yeah, he just like was playing and then kept playing with both hands. Yeah, they probably would have noticed that something was off key.
Is it at the end there?
I wish that you could go halfway through.
It's there, right? Like, it's just kind of a little bit simpler there. He hits single notes instead of two at once. Yeah, at that one part, it stops being a chord, and it just sounds like a single note. Just in the third part. I think that's it. Is it the third? Sorry, guys. I wasn't... You didn't see that. Right here. I can't even play from that part. It won't let me. When I try to... It just stops. When I select third part. That's not... Just tell me the answer then. I don't... This is so annoying.
I hit the first part and got it right.
Oh, for
It's the
fuck.
first part.
Really?
I have to walk through the first part. Thank you, guys.
Prosecutor Gavin, I'm sure you've realized by now... I guess we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with this bullshit.